Hey, how you doing? This is Adam Post, publisher of more than 1,000 comic books and marketing expert covering woke Harvard students being blacklisted by Wall Street after attacking Israel over the Hamas terrorist attacks. Bill Ackman, multi-billionaire, is leading the charge to say, hey, you can be as critical of Israel as you want to be. Doesn't matter. That's fine. You've got your free speech. But if you're going to do that, you're not going to be working on Wall Street, especially not for Jewish CEOs who do want to see Israel be respected. Let's get into the story. Before we do, please be sure you are subscribed to the channel. Click the bell for notifications. Give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate you guys. Coming from the Daily Mail, poisoned ivy. Harvard students will be blacklisted by Wall Street after joining 31 organizations that blamed Israel for the Palestine war. Harvard students who blamed Israel for the massacre of its citizens by Hamas had their own future thrown into doubt last night as a host of blue-chip CEOs declared them unemployable. The elite university faced a massive backlash after 31 of its student societies issued a joint statement, quote, holding the Israeli regime entirely responsible for all unfolding violence. The Anti-Defamation League denounced the statement as anti-Semitic, and others accused the university of tolerating hate speech. But Wall Street appears even less forgiving, with billionaire hedge fund manager Bill Ackman revealing that his fellow bosses want to know who they are so none of us inadvertently hire any of their members. And what he's trying to do is ruin their careers. Does he have a right to do that? Yes, he absolutely does. You get a lot of rights when you have billions of dollars in the bank, and you can decide who does and does not get certain job opportunities. The CEO of Pershing Square Capital Management said he has been approached by a number of CEOs, adding one should not be able to hide behind a corporate shield when issuing statements supporting the actions of terrorists who we now learn have beheaded babies and toddlers, among other inconceivably despicable acts. Jonathan Newman, CEO of food chain Sweetgreen, agreed, tweeting he would like to know so I know never to hire these people. Dovetail Capital Management CEO Jake Wurzak supported the call, and Easy Health Healthcare Services CEO David Duell responded same. In their statement on Sunday, the group said the attack, which left more than 1,000 dead, did not happen in a vacuum, and claimed the Israeli government has forced Palestinians to live in an open-air prison for over 2 decades. Quote, the apartheid regime is the only one to blame. Israeli violence has structured every aspect of Palestinian existence for 75 years, they wrote. Quote, from systemized land seizures to routine airstrikes, arbitrary detentions to military checkpoints, and enforced family separations to target killings, Palestinians have been forced to live in a state of death, both slow and sudden. Among names to have emerged so far are Shir Lovett Graf, founder of University's Jews for Liberation, Bengali Association co-treasurer Shifa Hussain, and Fatima Al-Mir of Harvard's Middle Eastern and North African Student Association. Many of the groups which put their names to the statement appeared to be disabling their web pages last night, while at least 2 had withdrawn their support in response to the backlash. Because it's very easy to make a statement and say, I believe this, we support this, it's the popular thing, it's the current thing. You can say that, but then when it comes to something serious like, oh, your own money, your own career, your own reputation, oh, well, maybe we spoke a little too soon. I can't have this damaging my future pension plans. I can't have this preventing me from getting some 7 or 8 figure job on Wall Street. Oh, well, maybe it's a little bit too late for that. Maybe you need to realize there are actually a lot of Jewish people who are in positions of power on Wall Street, and know if they can find you, if they can locate you, if they can identify you in any way, and you've supported this, what Hamas did, no, you're not going to get that opportunity. The university's Nepali Student Association said it condemned violence by Hamas and said it regretted that the statement had been interpreted as a tacit support for the recent violent attacks in Israel. We were just misinterpreted. We still want those jobs. We love the idea of the benefits and having an extra summer house in the Hamptons. Can you please forgive us? And the Harvard undergraduate Gungru, which promotes South Asian culture, said it would like to formally apologize. That's probably a good idea to formally apologize. Maybe you can get people to forgive you, or at least focus on the worst offenders instead of you, and maybe you still get that opportunity for that job. Why are you going to Harvard and burning bridges like that? Do you not understand Wall Street is full of people with all sorts of religious backgrounds? But in the middle of what could be a long-term disastrous war, you don't really want to get yourself in the middle of there. It's not going to help anyone in the war, and it's not going to help your career. If you really feel that way, fine, make the statement, but pay the price. Quote, the Gungru strictly denounces and condemns the massacre propagated by the terrorist organization Hamas, it added. We truly apologize for the insensitivity of the statement that was released recently. Hopefully you will be our boss someday and give us millions of dollars for a job we didn't really earn. That you're probably still going to have a problem. The statement was initially removed by Instagram, but reposted on Monday night with the names of the student groups replaced by just, quote, Harvard Palestine solidarity groups. Don't think that they don't have the names saved. These guys do have the names saved, and they're not going to forget that soon. Because it's not just about punishing students. It's about destroying the ideology that would approve terrorist attacks. People don't want that. And kids have to grow up and realize you're living in the real world now. You can't just do and say whatever you want without consequences. Quote, for student safety, the names of all original signing organizations have been concealed at this time, it added. Harvard Law student Danielle McAleen said that she had stepped down from her role as a board member of one of the student groups that co-signed the controversial statement, calling it egregious. That was a smart move, Danielle. The slowness of the college to distance itself from the remarks also sparked fury, with Harvard President Emeritus Lawrence Summers calling it sickening. And Lawrence Summers is a lefty. Quote, the silence from Harvard's leadership has allowed Harvard to appear at best neutral towards the acts of terror against the Jewish state of Israel, he wrote on social media platform Twitter. I am sickened. His successor, Claudine Gay, finally issued a statement on Tuesday condemning terrorist atrocities committed by Hamas in Israel and insisting the 31 student groups don't speak for the university or its leadership. Quote, let me also state on this matter, as on others, that while our students have the right to speak for themselves, no student group, not even 30 student groups, speaks for Harvard University or its leadership, Gay added. As the events of the recent days continue to reverberate, let there be no doubt that I condemn the terrorist atrocities perpetrated by Hamas, Gay said in a statement. Such inhumanity is abhorrent, whatever one's individual views of the origins of long-standing conflicts in the region, she said. The president then added, we will all be well served in such a difficult moment by rhetoric that aims to illuminate and not inflame. This is Bill Ackman's original tweet. I have been asked by a number of CEOs if Harvard would release a list of the members of each of the Harvard organizations that have issued the letter assigning sole responsibility for Hamas's heinous acts to Israel, so as to ensure that none of us inadvertently hire any of their members. If, in fact, their members support the letter they have released, the names of the signatories should be made public so their views are publicly known. One should not be able to hide behind a corporate shield when issuing statements supporting the actions of terrorists who we now learn have beheaded babies, among other inconceivably despicable acts. You know, it's one thing to be woke and it's one thing to say things in theory, but when an event actually happens and it's such a horrendous event and you pick a side, that's your side. That's where you live. That's where you belong. So it's really important that the Harvard students and the rest of the woke students understand if this is where they stand, then believe me, Bill Ackman and the rest of his billionaire friends, CEOs, are not going to have to hire you. They will find other people to give their job and career opportunities to. Because a lot of these career opportunities is not even what you know, it's who you know. And if Bill Ackman knows that you're one of the people that support terrorists, no, he's not going to give you a job. Let me know what you think of all this in the comments below. Always love to see your ideas. Please be sure you are subscribed to the channel. Click the bell for notifications, give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you again soon with another video. And if I don't see you, I will miss you.